Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Successfully Educated. I'm Mr. Harris, and today I wanted to kind of share some of my experiences this quarter because I feel like I don't get to talk that much about my experiences in school and some of the awesome things that my students do. So I kind of wanted to share some of my experiences. Hopefully, this will resonate with people or make people feel good because it totally makes me feel good to talk about these things. So this week we had a very short week. This week, we was only a 4 day week, so that was pretty cool. Uh, in class, my students were super awesome. So my classes are super weird right now. I have small classes due to the pandemic. Not a whole lot that are in person right now for me with my groups and everything's all like wacky do. But I have very large virtual classes. So let's talk about them because they're pretty cool. So I have a very small class that loves to come in each day and talk to me about the newest episodes of WandaVision, which is super cool. And the beauty of it being a small class is that it doesn't take that long for everybody to really understand and grasp the directions. So we're able to move through the material quicker. So we have a little extra time to really talk about some of this stuff, which is great. So that class was super awesome, being able to talk about theories and things that we've watched and things that we notice because they know that I'm very passionate about Marvel movies. So we get to talk about those, and it just makes my heart really happy, being able to have those moments and have that connection with my students like that. So that's really awesome. In my other classes, I have a class that is quite big, quite large. Um, for the pandemic, sorry, not for a normal year. It's only 14 kids due to the way that class sizes work. And that class has been the absolute joy of just everything because of the fact that that class and I gel very well. It is a later in the day class, so they're a little more awake and energetic than some of my morning classes. And the personalities within that class are so exciting and so fun. So some of the things that kind of happened this week were one of the students actually took the opportunity. I give attendance questions each week, and one of the students actually took the opportunity to throw the attendance question back at me and kind of ask me what the attendance questions are. And so the attendance questions are always social emotional learning based. So self awareness, self management, social awareness, relationship building, all that good stuff is tied into the attendance questions that I give. So a student actually asked me what the attendance question was, and it made my heart so happy because I was like, yes, now I get to model and demonstrate for you how this question can be answered, which was super awesome. Some other memorable moments. I had a student who I was walking up to the front of the classroom, and a student had noticed that there was a chair that was blocking my walkway. The student gets up and, in the most dramatic, most superheroic way, he dodges desks, me, and everything else, and does this like awesome little like it's almost like a parkour scene, except for he wasn't doing flips. He was just kind of maneuvering, and the amount of control that he had through the whole situation was so smooth. And he moved that table out of the way with one swift, or the chair. He moved the chair out of the way with one swift motion, and it was so well coordinated and awesome. But he didn't stop there. He was in a flow, so he started flowing, and he slides and wiggles and moves back to his chair. And as he slides into his chair, the chair tumbles over. And in the most graceful way, this kid falls back. And the chair falls with him. And it was the most amazing sight that I had ever seen. I've never seen someone move with such grace and have a fall that comes together with such grace. And I laughed so hard because he fell, but it wasn't a clumsy fall. It was the smoothest fall that I've ever seen. And the whole interaction was so unbelievable. I was blown away, truly blown away by that display. So that was one of the funny things that happened. But I think the most standout moment of my week, truly, I had a discussion with a student, and we talked about an assignment that I had given. And the assignment asked to like look at your future, and this student was struggling with that. And so I wanted to understand, why was this so tough? This wasn't designed to be tough, and I know that you're not the first student to struggle with this, and I know that you're not going to be the last student to struggle with this, but I really want to get down to what makes this so tough. And I asked the student, and he said, I just don't really think about my future too much, and I can't think about that far into the future, and I don't do this often. And I thought, huh. So then I asked him, well, what do you think would make this easier? This kid looks at me and goes, not doing it. I was like, dope, awesome, yeah, great job. Can't do that, but if there's anything else that you can come up with, that'd be awesome. So as class progresses, I ask him this what I thought was a pretty simple question. And I said, do you ever really feel like you are in charge of your learning? The student said, do you mean if I know what's going on in class? I said, no. I want to know, do you feel like you are in charge of your learning? He said, like, do I complete all my assignments? I said, no. Do you feel like you are in charge of your learning? He said, do you mean like, do I get good grades? I said, wow. And to what I thought would be a simple question, he really did not understand. And he really needed the clarification, but every time he asked for clarification, he wanted something concrete. And that was bizarre to me. Because with me, I have just this creative mind. So when something is abstract, I love to take all the pieces and parts and kind of just like see them as they are. But for someone with a very logical brain, they want to have this concrete definition for in charge of learning. And a student next to him said, you know, now that you mention this, I can't think of anybody who goes, I'm really ready to learn today. And I said, wow,